What's going on, guys? It's John here from Hot Take Hockey to talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning, more specifically their head coach, John Cooper, as they lock him up to a multi-year contract. Huge news, and the big headline is Stanley Cup or not, John Cooper will stay with the Lightning for the years to come. So, press release right here. The Tampa Bay Lightning have signed head coach John Cooper to a multi-year contract extension today. Vice President and General Manager Julien Brisebois announced. Cooper was named the 8th coach in franchise history in March 25th, 2013. So that was before the season ended. He came in and he's been there since 2013, 6 years ago yesterday, as I'm making this video, and is currently the NHL's longest tenured coach. That kind of just proves, guys, in a lot of situations, how little of time head coaches are with a team. You see with a lot of different teams, whether it's Glenn Sather or Stan Bowman, with different teams in terms of the management level, whether it's GM, president, you see those guys sticking around with the team a lot longer. But coaches seem to be a lot more expendable. Maybe that's not the right word to use, because obviously head coaches are really important to a team and how well they do. But in terms of when a team doesn't do well, then either the blame gets pointed at the coach or at specific players. Quote, I'm very pleased to announce John's extension today. His ability to forge impactful relationships with everyone from players to staff has been a trademark of his tenure with the organization, and he's absolutely the best coach for our hockey team. This is from Brisebois himself. Coop's ability to develop a strong culture while continually adapting has been a big part of this team's success. He has helped set high standards for organization with his unrelenting drive for excellence. I would like to thank Coop and his family for their continuous commitment to the organization, as well as to the Tampa Bay community, and I look forward to working in partnership with John for years to come. So that's, right, like I said, a quote right from Brisebois. Cooper is also the franchise all-time leader for wins with 301. I mean, he's had a crazy, crazy stint with the Lightning as head coach. I mean, this year, let's talk about it. Kucherov surpassing 120 points. The Lightning themselves surpassing 120 points. This is a team that just recently clinched the President's Trophy. They're going to be the number one team going to the playoffs. And John Cooper, along with a couple other names, those other names being Barry Trotz, Rick Tocchet, he's up for Jack Adams, 100%. And I think right now, to a lot of people, he's favorite going into the award, but also to the aspect that the Lightning are already really good, and some people will look at it as, without John Cooper, would they be that much worse, or would they be better? Like, with the team of the Lightning, I would have to agree. I mean, without John Cooper, they'd still probably be, I don't know, second in the Atlantic, or first in the Atlantic, just not that many points. But I will say this, John Cooper has utilized players really well. Stamkos was struggling at the start of the year. He got back to the rhythm of what Stamkos does well. For Kucherov, Kucherov's developed under John Cooper. Kucherov was underrated. No one was following him. And then bang, has a breakout season. His last 3 years have been remarkable, especially the last two. Last year, a lot of people were wondering if he was going to repeat the success again. And then he goes off in top 10 in scoring or whatever. And then this year, beyond as number one, he has put this in perspective. Mark Scheifele, you could argue, is on one of the best lines in hockey and one of the best teams in the Jets. Nikita Kucherov has more assists than Mark Scheifele has points. Just put that in perspective. Scheifele has in around 80 points. Kucherov has 120 points. That's a 40-point gap. A 40-point gap. And it'll be really interesting because on the point of Scheifele, you would expect Scheifele and Kucherov to be the two best, or one of the two best playoff performers coming into this playoff again. A couple other notes on Cooper. He has led the Lightning to a 301, 157, and 44 record, and a 6.43 points percentage in just more than 6 seasons behind the bench. For the Bolts, the Cooper-led Bolts have eclipsed the 50-win plateau on 3 occasions during his tenure. I'm just pulling a couple stats here. He was also named a finalist for the 2014 Jack Adams Award. Again, he very well could win it this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he did win it this year. I think a lot of people are giving still the edge to Barry Trotz. But obviously, I think John Cooper would be a close second if he was to win. The team's success under Cooper has translated into the Stanley Cup playoffs as well. The Lightning have played in the second most playoff games in the NHL since the 2014 postseason, and their 36 wins are tied for the second most, Pittsburgh being 46 and Washington being tied with them with 36. In addition, the Bolts are the only team in the NHL to appear in 3 of the previous 4 conference finals. That kind of success obviously warrants a contract extension, and I completely agree with this decision. You want to have confidence in your coach and your players going into the playoffs trying to win a Stanley Cup, and I think for John Cooper, you're trying to insert as much confidence as you can in the coach that would be leading you to a Stanley Cup possibly. So again, the headline is Stanley Cup or not, John Cooper will be staying with the Lightning for years to come. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Again, I think John Cooper definitely could be up for Jack Adams, and I definitely think going to the playoffs, you'd be foolish not to include the Lightning as like your top 3 for the Stanley Cup. I just think they're that good, and it's ridiculous. If you saw the game quite recently, yesterday, as I'm making this video, actually, down 4-2 in the third period to the Bruins, one of the best teams in the league as well, and the Lightning come back to win 5-4. I just think those kind of games, you see it even when Vasilevsky's not playing well, even if your forward or your top forwards aren't playing well, you see bottom players like Tyler Johnson, Cedric Paquette, Alex Killorn, guys like that stepping up. And you can attribute a lot of that to John Cooper and utilizing your forwards and utilizing your players in the right situations. So I think the Lightning, led by John Cooper, are going to do special things for years to come. But this year, obviously watch out for the Lightning. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like I just said, subscribe, like, comment, always do all 3 of those things. I would really appreciate it. And this channel is going to grow a lot, and I'm excited for the playoffs. Yeah, John from Hot Take Hockey, have a good one. Peace out.